I never thought a single choice could turn my whole life into a long night of fear. What I am about to share still makes my hands shake, even now, as I remember how close I came to losing everything. This is not just my story. It is the story of courage, pain, and a quiet faith that grew in a place where it was not allowed to exist. Before you continue, I want you to pause for a moment. Please write in the comments where you are watching or reading from. Let us know your country or city so we can connect as one family and continue to pray for one another across the world. I was born into luxury, but not into freedom. My name is Aliyah Rahman, and I was 18 years old when my life began to change. I lived inside a royal palace in Saudi Arabia, surrounded by high walls, armed guards, and strict rules that controlled every part of my day. From the outside, people would think my life was perfect. I wore fine clothes, that slept on soft beds, and never worried about food. But inside my heart, I felt empty and trapped. Every morning, servants showed me what to wear. Tutors showed me what to study. Elders showed me how to walk, sit, and speak like a princess. I was taught obedience more than kindness. I was taught silence more than truth. I learned very early that questions were dangerous and curiosity could bring punishment. Religion was not just a belief in my world, it was law. It was fear. It was control. From a young age, I was warned about disobedience. I was shown stories of people who were punished for stepping outside the rules. I was reminded again and again that a woman's duty was to obey, not to search. Fear was planted in me like a seed, and it grew as I grew. Yet, something else was growing too. Sometimes, late at night, when the palace was quiet, I felt a strange pull in my heart. It felt like someone was calling me gently, not with fear, but with peace. I did not have words for it. I only knew it felt different from everything I had been taught. One day, while walking through a restricted hallway, a worker who cleaned the palace revealed something to me without meaning to. Through gestures and broken explanations, I was shown that not everyone believed the same way we were forced to believe. I was shown that there were people who prayed with love instead of fear. That moment stayed with me. Later, during a rare trip outside the palace walls, I noticed a small, old building hidden between shops. I was told by a driver, through careful hints, that it was a church used secretly by foreigners. He showed fear while revealing this, as if even the knowledge itself could get him killed. From that day, my heart would not rest. I began to feel torn apart inside. On one side was everything I had ever known. On the other side was a quiet curiosity that refused to die. I prayed the way I was taught, but my prayers felt empty. I followed the rules, but my soul felt chained. The palace that once felt safe now felt like a cage. I watched women around me live in silence. I saw fear in their eyes. I saw how quickly smiles disappeared when authority entered the room. I saw how punishment was used to break spirits. I saw how love was replaced with obedience. The pressure was heavy. The rules were suffocating. Even my thoughts felt monitored. Every day I was reminded that my life did not belong to me. The more I tried to ignore the pull in my heart, the stronger it became. I felt drawn to that hidden place of worship, not because I wanted to rebel, but because I wanted peace. I wanted to understand why people would risk their lives just to pray differently. I knew the danger. I was not blind to it. I had been shown what happens to those who break religious laws. I had been shown executions. I had been warned that even royal blood could not protect a traitor. Fear followed me like a shadow, yet hope walked beside it. That was the day I realized something painful and powerful. Even in a palace, a heart can be imprisoned, and even under threat of death, a heart can still choose to search for truth. That choice, the one I had not yet made, was already changing me. Fear followed me that day like a shadow that refused to leave. Even now, when I think about it, my chest feels tight, as if I am still walking toward something forbidden and life-changing at the same time. This chapter holds the moment when curiosity turned into action and peace met danger face to face. I did not wake up planning to break the rules that day. I woke up with a heavy heart and shaking hands. The palace felt louder than usual, even though nothing had changed. Guards stood where they always stood. Servants moved quietly as they always did. Yet inside me, something felt urgent, like time was running out. As I prepared for the day, a female attendant showed me a simple outfit meant for errands outside the palace. Her eyes avoided mine, but her hands trembled slightly. In that moment, I felt she already knew I was carrying a dangerous thought. During the drive through the city, I watched people through the window. Shops opened. Children walked with their parents. Life looked normal. But I knew the truth behind the streets. I knew fear lived quietly in many hearts, just as it lived in mine. The driver slowed near a narrow road. Without turning his head, he revealed to me through gestures that this was as far as he could go. He showed me a small path between buildings and warned me with his eyes. His fear was clear. I understood that helping me even this much could cost him his life. My feet felt heavy as I stepped down. Every step toward that hidden place felt like a step toward punishment. I kept my head low. I felt watched, even when no one was there. My heart beat so loudly, I feared it could betray me. The building was small and old, nothing like the grand places of worship I had known. Its walls were plain, its door looked weak, yet something about it felt strong, like it had survived many storms. Inside, the air felt different. I was shown a wooden bench by a woman who noticed my shaking hands. She revealed kindness through her actions, not her words. I saw people kneeling, heads bowed, eyes closed. There were no guards, no weapons, no shouting, only quiet prayers and soft tears. For the first time in my life, I felt peace without fear. That peace did not last long. Suddenly, loud footsteps echoed outside. Panic spread quickly. Faces turned pale. Someone revealed with hand signs that authorities were near. My body froze. My breath stopped. I understood in that instant that my life had crossed a line that could not be erased. People scattered. Some hid. Some escaped through back doors. I was too slow. My legs refused to move. Strong hands grabbed me. I was dragged outside without explanation. Rough voices surrounded me, but I did not focus on words. I focused on pain. My arm burned where I was held. My head spun as I was pushed into a vehicle. No one looked at me with mercy. To them, I was not a princess. I was a criminal. At the holding facility, the lights were harsh and unforgiving. I was placed in a small room with cold walls. Time lost meaning. Hours felt like days. I was questioned repeatedly. Men showed me documents. They showed me laws. They showed me the punishment waiting for those who leave the approved path. They revealed to me that my status could not protect me from religious crime. My head covering was pulled tighter. My dignity was stripped away slowly. I was denied comfort. I was denied rest. Hunger became a lesson. Silence became a weapon. Fear became my constant companion. I was moved to a cell where the floor was hard and the air smelled of despair. I saw other women there. Their eyes were empty. Their bodies were weak. Some had been beaten. Some had been abandoned by their families. All of them had chosen something they were not allowed to choose. One woman showed me scars on her arms. She revealed through tears that her crime was reading forbidden material. Another showed me bruises and revealed that she had helped someone escape. Their pain entered my heart and stayed there. That night, alone in the darkness, I understood persecution in a way I never had before. It was not just punishment, it was the breaking of the spirit. It was being treated as less than human. It was being told again and again that your life had no value. I lay on the cold floor and felt fear press down on me like a weight, yet beneath that fear a small spark of peace remained. I did not know why it was still there, but it refused to die. That was the night I realized the cost of my decision, and it was only the beginning. I thought fear had already shown me its worst face, but I was wrong. What came next was heavier, darker, and harder to survive than anything I had known before. This chapter carries the moment when my hidden faith was exposed and mercy seemed to disappear completely. The morning light entered the cell without kindness. It did not warm me. It only reminded me that I was still alive and still trapped. My body ached from the cold floor. My mind felt tired from fear that never slept. Guards came early. They took me from the cell and led me through long corridors. The walls were bare. The air smelled of dust and metal. My footsteps echoed, and each sound made my heart jump. I was shown into a large room where powerful men sat behind a high table. Their faces were hard. Their eyes were sharp. They already knew who I was. One of them revealed my identity by showing documents with my name and family seal. Another showed images taken near the church. My chest tightened. I understood then that nothing was hidden anymore. My secret was no longer mine. They revealed to me that my action was seen as betrayal, not just of the law, but of blood, family, and nation. They showed me written rules and pointed to the punishment. I did not need words to understand. Death was being placed in front of me like a final door. I was returned to isolation. This time the cell felt smaller. The silence felt louder. My thoughts attacked me without rest. I thought of my family. I thought of the palace halls where I once walked freely. I thought of how quickly love can turn into rejection. Days passed, or maybe weeks. Time no longer made sense. Food was given without care. Water was limited. Sleep was broken by loud checks and harsh lights. Each interruption felt like a reminder that my life was no longer valuable in their eyes. I was not treated as a daughter of royalty. I was treated as a warning to others. One day, officials arrived again. They took me to another room where religious leaders waited. Their faces showed anger mixed with pride. They revealed that repentance could save my body but destroy my soul. They showed me a path back that required denial of everything I had felt and believed. When I remained silent, punishment increased. I was kept standing for long hours. My legs shook, my head spun, my body grew weak. Pain was used as a teacher. Shame was used as control. They revealed again and again that obedience mattered more than truth. I saw other prisoners during transfers. Some were dragged. Some were crying. Some were so quiet, it frightened me. One young woman showed me swollen hands through her tears. She revealed she had been reported by her own brother. Another woman showed me burn marks and revealed that she refused to speak false words just to be released. Their pain stayed with me. I was allowed one meeting with a family representative. He did not look at me with love. He revealed disappointment through his cold eyes. He showed me how my actions had brought shame. He made it clear that protection would not come from home. That moment broke something inside me. I realized persecution is not only physical. It is emotional abandonment. It is being erased by those who once claimed you. It is being made to feel unworthy of love. Soon after, I was told that my case had moved forward. Preparations were being made. My name was written on a list I could not see but could feel pressing against my chest. Fear became my shadow again. At night, I cried quietly. Tears soaked the floor beneath me. I felt small and helpless. I wondered if my life would end in that place, forgotten and condemned. Yet in the deepest pain, something strange happened. In the silence, I felt a calm presence, not loud, not forceful, gentle. It did not remove the fear, but it gave me strength to breathe through it. I did not understand it fully, but it stayed with me. That calm was the only thing they could not take away. As the days grew darker, I understood that my secret was no longer just revealed to men. It was now standing before judgment itself. And the worst moment was still ahead. That night felt longer than my entire life. Every breath I took carried fear, and every second felt like it could be my last. This chapter holds the darkest hours, when hope felt weak and death felt very near. They came for me when the sun was going down. A guard showed me a document with symbols and marks. I did not need anyone to explain it. My body understood before my mind did. My legs became weak. My hands felt cold. I was shown that the decision had been made. Execution. I was moved to a different cell, smaller and quieter. This one was meant for waiting. The walls were thick. The door was heavy. The light stayed on all night, as if sleep was no longer allowed for someone like me. I sat on the floor and wrapped my arms around myself. The cold went deep into my bones. I tried to remember my childhood. I tried to remember laughter, warmth, and safety. Those memories felt far away, like they belonged to another person. From the hallway, I heard sounds that made my heart sink. Chains moving, doors opening and closing, soft cries that ended too quickly. Each sound felt like a warning of what was coming. A female officer came in later. She showed me clothes meant for the next day. Simple, plain, heavy. Through her slow movements and sad eyes, she revealed that dawn would not bring freedom. She avoided my face as if looking at me would cause pain she could not carry. I was left alone again. Hunger twisted my stomach, but fear was stronger. My mouth felt dry. My thoughts would not rest. I wondered if anyone would remember me after I was gone. I wondered if my life had any meaning beyond this small room. I thought about the women I had met in the cells. I thought about their scars, their tears, their broken voices. I realized I was not alone in this suffering. Many had walked this path before me. Many had disappeared without names or stories. That realization hurt deeply. Persecution is not just about death. It is about being made invisible. It is about pain happening in silence. It is about the world moving on while someone is crushed behind closed doors. As the night grew deeper, fear pressed harder. My body shook without control. Tears fell freely. I felt weak and small, like a child lost in the dark. Then, in that broken moment, I did the only thing my heart knew how to do. I reached inward. I did not use perfect words. I did not know how to pray the right way. I only opened my heart. I placed all my fear, pain, and regret into that quiet place inside me. I asked for help without sound. I asked for mercy without strength. Something changed. The fear did not disappear, but it loosened its grip. My breathing slowed, my shaking eased. I felt a warmth that did not come from the room. It felt like I was not alone anymore, even though no one was there. Time passed quietly after that. I rested my head against the wall and closed my eyes. For the first time since my arrest, sleep came gently. It did not last long, but it was enough to give me strength. Before dawn, footsteps returned. The sound was slow and careful. The door opened slightly. A guard looked at me differently than before. There was confusion on his face. There was hesitation in his movements. He did not take me away. He did not speak. He only looked, then closed the door again. My heart began to race. Something was happening. I did not know what it was, but I felt it. The air felt different. The silence felt alert, not empty. Fear mixed with a strange sense of expectation. As the first light of morning touched the small window, I realized this night was not ending the way I thought it would. The moment of death had been delayed, and I was about to learn why. I thought the morning would bring my end, but instead it brought a moment that still feels bigger than fear, bigger than chains, and bigger than death itself. This chapter holds the turning point, the moment when persecution met mercy, and darkness met a light it could not stop. The door opened again after sunrise. This time, more people entered. Their steps were hurried. Their faces showed confusion and tension. One officer showed me papers shaking in his hands. Another revealed that something unexpected had happened during the night. I did not understand everything, but I felt it clearly. The plan had changed. I was taken from the waiting cell and led through unfamiliar corridors. The guards who once pushed me now walked more carefully. Their eyes avoided mine. Fear had changed sides. I was placed in a room where officials argued quietly. They showed signs of stress. They revealed that reports had reached higher authorities. They showed concern about attention, unrest, and consequences beyond what they had planned. In that room, while powerful men struggled for control, I felt calm. That calm did not come from them. Inside my heart, I felt the same gentle presence that had carried me through the night. It felt close. It felt protective. It felt like love without condition. I understood then that Jesus had not left me alone, even when the world tried to erase me. They did not release me immediately. Persecution does not end easily. I was kept under watch for days. I was questioned again. I was pressured to deny everything. I was threatened with silence and disappearance, but the weight had lifted. The fear no longer ruled me. Eventually, a decision was revealed. My execution was stopped. Not because they believed I was innocent, but because they feared what my death might cause. I was moved quietly out of public sight. My name was erased from records. My title meant nothing anymore. Freedom came with loss. I lost my family. I lost my home. I lost my identity. I was forced into exile and secrecy. I lived hidden, watched, and restricted. Even breathing freely felt dangerous. But I was alive. And more than that, my faith was alive. When I look back now, I do not see only pain. I see the faces of those who suffered with me. I see the women who were beaten, abandoned, and silenced. I see believers whose stories never reached daylight. Their persecution did not end like mine. Many are still in cells. Many are still tortured. Many are still choosing faith while knowing the cost is suffering. That is why I share this story. Faith is not always safe. Belief can be punished. Following Jesus can mean loss, pain, and tears. But even in the darkest places, He still steps in. Not always loudly, not always quickly, but always faithfully. If you are reading this and you are free, do not forget those who are not. Please pray for Christians around the world who are persecuted for their faith. Pray for those in prisons, in hiding, and under threat. Pray that they will have strength, courage, and peace that cannot be taken away. And if you are reading this and you feel your heart pulled toward repentance, you can turn to Jesus right where you are. You can come to him with honesty and humility. You can tell him you are sorry for your sins. You can believe that he died and rose again to give you new life. You can ask him to forgive you, to lead you, and to make you his own. He hears even the quietest hearts. My story began with fear, but it continues with hope, and that hope is for you too. My story began with fear, but it continues with hope, and that hope is for you too.